welcome to my day 19 of Vlogmas video. And although this is my day 19 video, I'm actually starting this one a little bit early. It is still day 18 here. It's Sunday evening right now. And I finished my Sunday video a little bit earlier today because we've been out all afternoon at a friend's house, so I knew I wouldn't get a chance to do any filming there. But I've got some sewing related plans this evening, so I thought why not start day 19 early and pop on now and share what I'm up to with you guys. So the time here right now is 8:30 in the evening. My husband has just left the house to head to the pub and meet a couple of friends there. My children are both in bed. I think my daughter's asleep, and I just heard my son pop out to use the toilet, so I think he's probably now settling himself down to sleep. And often when my husband is out in the evening, I do like to do a little bit of sewing. And when he's around, we'll often be on the sofa together, either watching a TV series or a film, so I'll often do a bit of knitting because that's much easier to do on the sofa. But yeah, when he's out, I do quite like to get a bit of sewing done. So my plan this evening is to cut out my mile end sweatshirt that I want to sew. I thought that'd be a good, nice little project that it doesn't require too much thought, and then I'll be in the position where I can start sewing it whenever I have a moment. So yeah, this is the mile end sweatshirt that I'm planning to make by Closet Core Patterns, and I'm planning to make View A here, so a classic sweatshirt. I've got a couple of these already that I really love, so I'm really looking forward to making another version in a kind of creamy off-white fleece back sweatshirting and some matching ribbing. So I've got all my pattern pieces out. I've already cut the ribbing out. I've got the two cuffs here, this nice creamy ribbing, and the neckband as well. And I've got all the other pattern pieces here ready to cut out, and I've got my fleecy fabric over here. So I am planning on cutting out the size 0 of the mile end sweatshirt, which is the size I've made before. The measurements for the size 0 are slightly smaller than me. I think my measurements would put me a bust size 2, waist size 4 and hips size 6, but I've gone for the straight size 0, which I've made before, because this sweatshirt is designed to be oversized, and I find that even the size 0 gives quite a nice slightly oversized fit for me, so I'm going with that one again. So the only adjustments I'm making are to lengthen the pattern quite a lot. So here is my pattern piece, and you can see I've lengthened it by this amount here. It looks like about 2.5 or 3 inches I think I've lengthened it by. I'm making exactly the same as I've done before, so I just didn't have any to alter my pattern piece at all. So this is my front pattern piece. As you can see, because I lengthened it, I had to then sort of adjust the whole side seam to still give it that nice kind of straight line, because when I lengthened it, the top piece was up here and the bottom piece was down here, so I couldn't just draw a straight line between them. So I'd add a bit more tracing paper here just to give a nice smooth line all the way down. And then here's my back piece, again lengthened, and again I had to add another piece to fill in down the side here just to give another smooth line down the side there for the side seam. And I also lengthened my sleeves. Here's one of my lengthened sleeves, and that one's lengthened I think by 1.5 inches, I think. That's the only one adjustment I've made actually. I've just I made a slight adjustment just to maybe add about 1/2 inch extra lengthening on this version, because I found on other versions it's quite a nice length, but it could be a bit longer, so I thought yeah, I'll just make them a little bit longer and a bit cosy on this version. So that is my lengthened sleeve piece, and there's the sleeve darts there ready to be put in. That's the front sleeve, which has got the darts in. The back sleeve doesn't have any darts. So these are all my pattern pieces ready to be cut out. So that's my plan this evening. I'm hoping to get it all cut out. I probably won't get started on any sewing this evening. I think I'll probably just cut all the pattern pieces out and then head to bed after that. But I might also get the bobbin wound up so that I'm kind of ready to go when I do want to start sewing this sweatshirt. I ordered this thread along with the fabric when I got it from Minerva. You can tick a box to add a matching thread, and I find that Minerva's thread matching is always really good. This colour looks like it's a bit darker than the creamy fabric, but when you hold the thread up against the fabric, it's a perfect match. So yeah, I might get the bobbin wound up, but I probably won't thread the machine up with this thread because I'd still probably like to finish my larger dressing gown before I do start sewing this sweatshirt. I quite like to finish one project before I get started sewing the next one on my machine, and I still need to just finish the cuffs and the hem of my larger dressing gown, also do the tie as well. So I haven't got too much more to do on that one. It would be nice to finish that one off first, but it'll be nice to get this one started and all cut out, and I'm quite in the mood for a bit of cutting out. I'll take my time over it, make sure that I've got the sort of grain line all lined up neatly, and I've got a sort of fairly limited amount of fabric to work with. I've just got 1 metre of the fleece back fabric, so I have to make sure I lay out the pieces quite carefully to make sure I can squeeze them all on, because I think I had a look actually, and after having pre-washed the fabric, it has shrunk slightly, so I've got even a little bit less fabric to work with. I think it'll be fine. I'll be able to squeeze them all on, but it'll just require a little bit of thought to make sure I don't put the wrong pattern piece in the wrong place and end up sort of not having enough length for maybe the bottom band and that sort of thing. I'm planning on doing the bottom band in the fleece back fabric rather than the ribbing, just because I quite like the structure it holds at the bottom there, and also because I think it then showcases the nice sort of lines that come down on the top and into the bottom band if it's all in the same fabric. So I'm planning on doing that on this version like I've done on my other version. So just the ribbing for the cuffs and the neckband. So that is my plan. I'm going to get on with cutting all that out. Oh, and I thought I'd mention while I'm on, I am wearing something handmade this evening. When we got back from our friend's house earlier this evening, I felt quite chilly, so I changed straight into some loungewear, including this handmade sweatshirt. And this sweatshirt is my go-to sweatshirt that I wear all through winter in the evenings. I pretty much reach for every evening unless it's in the wash. It's really nice and comfy and cozy. And I made it using the Megan Nielsen Jarrah sweatshirt pattern, which I really love. I made this sort of classic sweatshirt version here. It's the crew neck with the cuffs and the bottom band, and just quite a nice relaxed, straight oversized fit with the dropped shoulders. And I made this version in some fleece back sweatshirt fabric that I got quite a while ago from Fabric Godmother in this icy blue colour. When I bought this fabric, they didn't have any matching ribbing, so I just made the whole sweatshirt in the fleece back fabric, so the neckband and the cuffs and the bottom band are all in the fleece back fabric too, which works absolutely fine. I think I made the straight size 0, which I always make in the Jarrah. I made a couple of adjustments to this version. Firstly, I lengthened the body of the sweatshirt even more than I do normally, because I thought if I want it to keep me cozy in the evening, I want it extra long to make sure it covers my midriff, say if I'm sitting down at the table, because the Jarrah can come up a little bit cropped. So it's nice and long and cozy. And I also lengthen the sleeves a bit extra long. I think I got a bit overexcited and lengthened them too much because they are really long. So I never actually really wear them with the cuffs down. I always wear them with the cuffs turned up, which works fine. I guess it keeps my wrists extra cozy. But yeah, I always enjoy wearing this sweatshirt. It's so nice and comfy and cozy in the fleecy fabric. So that is what I'm wearing this evening. But I better get on with this cutting out now. So I will say good night now, and I'll see you again tomorrow morning where I can actually start officially day 19. So night night, and see you tomorrow. Good morning, welcome to day 19 of Vlogmas. So it's actually Monday morning now. It's just coming up to 9 o'clock in the morning, and I've just got home from the school run. It was a bit of a different school run this morning because I woke up to a text on our school parents group. Someone said that a water pipe had burst on the route we usually walk to school, so it was flooded and you couldn't get through that way. So we ended up going a different way to school, which we don't usually go, which was through the woods, which can be quite muddy. My children can't scoot, so they generally like to go the main way on their scooters with their friends, but yeah, we couldn't go that way this morning, so we got our wellies on and we headed off for a little adventure through the woods to get to school a slightly different way. So we are very lucky to have that alternative route, otherwise we'd have had to get in the car and drive, which is a lot longer way around, because we can't really go as the crow flies like we can when we walk. So it was quite nice actually to take a little walk through the woods, and I took a little video of us going through there because I thought you might like to see our different route to school, which I'll pop on in a moment. And it's a very, very grey day out there this morning. It's rainy, it's very dark. It almost looks like it's not daytime yet. It feels like it's still sort of, yeah, very early morning because it's so dark with the rain clouds up in the sky. So yeah, bit of a grim day out there today. But anyway, I'm back home, but only briefly, because in a moment I'm going to head out to a friend's house. A few of us are getting together for a little coffee morning, and we're going to do our Secret Santa exchange, because every year this group of friends we do a Secret Santa. So I'm going to get my present in a moment to take along, and so I'll pop on a bit later once I've been there and got back and share with you what I got for my Secret Santa, and I'll also share later what Elf got up to and what I'm wearing, because I think I better go and get ready to head off now. So yeah, I'll leave you with our walk to school through the woods, and I'll see you again in a little bit later. Bye! now from the coffee morning. I had a really nice morning there, catching up with my friends and opening our Secret Santas and having a bit of tea and cake. I decided to walk over there and walk back, and although the day has brightened up slightly from earlier this morning, it's still quite grey and rainy out there, so I was glad to get home. Thankfully I didn't get too wet because the rain was quite light for my walk, so I was quite lucky. But yeah, it's nice to be back in the dry again. So I thought I'd pop on now. I've just had lunch. I thought it was a good time to pop on now and share with you what I got for my Secret Santa, and also what Elf was up to in the night and what I'm wearing today as well. So I'll start off with what I got for my Secret Santa. And yeah, I was really lucky to get a really nice bundle. I got, first of all, a bar of my favourite chocolate, which is this Lindt 70%. This is my sort of go-to sewing snack. I love this brand of dark chocolate, and particularly the 70% cocoa one. So someone knows me well there. And then I also got this cute little toiletries pouch here. So it's kind of tied up, a little bag that's tied up with a little bow at the front. And then you open it up, and inside there are 3 toiletries. So I'll show you what they were. There is a body butter sort of moisturiser, and the scent is British Rose, which is a really nice sort of light floral scent, so that'll come in nice and handy. And also some shower gel, again the British Rose scent, can't go wrong with a bit of shower gel. And the one I think I'll definitely be using straight away, which is this hand cream, because my hands have got quite dry in this cold weather, so that'll be very handy too. So yeah, they all came in this little pouch, which was cute, so thank you to my Secret Santa. And then in terms of what Elf was up to in the night, well, we know from previous years that Elf isn't afraid of heights. We found him up high quite a few times. And this morning we came downstairs to discover that he built a tower by raiding the contents of our kitchen. So I'll put the tower up so you can see. So we'd managed to find our crackers that we've got ready for Christmas and use that as a base. And then he built up the tower with lots of snacks. And then at the top, he managed to find a box of Haribo that I had left over from Halloween that I'd squirreled away, that was sort of half used. And he'd got it out of pack and opened it up, and he'd actually made himself some little bracelets out of the Haribo rings. So I'll show you a close-up of Elf decorated with the Haribo. So that's where we found him this morning. So another one I had to tidy up. He'd been all over the kitchen finding those snacks. And then in terms of what I'm wearing today, well, I thought since we're having a bit of a Christmassy coffee morning, I thought I'd wear a Christmas jumper. This is a ready-to-wear Christmas jumper that I got a few years ago from Next, but it's one I really like. It's got these little reindeers on with these little sequin noses that look all sort of sparkly, so I think it's quite a cute one. But I'm wearing it underneath a handmade pinafore because I wanted something that was still nice and cosy, and I thought particularly with the rain I prefer to wear tights rather than jeans, because I find once jeans are wet they take forever to dry. So I thought I'd wear tights and a pinafore, and the pinafore I'm wearing I made using this pattern here. It's a real classic. It is the Tilly and the Buttons Clio pinafore, and it's a really nice sort of classic dungaree pinafore. I'll show you the line drawings, I'm sure you've seen it before. You make it as quite a straight pinafore. You can either make a mini skirt version or a below the knee version that has a little slit, which you can see on the model here. You can finish it either with buttons or with buckles, and I've gone for the buckle option. It's got sort of top stitching down the front and the back. You can add on patch pockets. There's a sort of pouch pocket and then 2 pockets you can either put on the front or the back. So there's a few different options. And it's a really nice beginner pattern. I love how Tilly and the Buttons patterns hold your hands through the sewing process, and this one's particularly great for that. It was one of my earliest patterns I tried, and I remember really enjoying sewing it, and yeah, just finding it quite a satisfying sew. And I think because I was quite early in my sewing journey, because it's quite a straight fit pinafore, it didn't need to be fitted anywhere particularly. It was quite nice because it wasn't too daunting. I wasn't too worried about the fit of it. And in terms of the sizing on this one, Tilly and the Buttons have actually, I think, recently extended the size range. So although I've got the old paper pattern, which goes from UK 6 up to UK 20, I think you can now get the Clio pinafore in up to a UK 34. So it's got a really nice size inclusive size range now. And I think for my version, this is my earlier version of my Clio pinafore. I've made another version since. And I made it in this lovely navy blue needle cord fabric that's fairly lightweight. It's just really comfy, and I find the navy colour goes with everything. I can't remember where I got this needle cord, but it's just quite a fine needle cord that I'm sure you could get quite a few places. And then I added on little silver buckles. I've got a little front pouch pocket, which I actually did use this morning to put my mobile phone in when I had a few other things I was trying to carry down the stairs. And I've got the little back pockets too. And I think I made the mini length, but I might have lengthened just a little smidgen so it didn't come up really, really short. And I think I made the UK size 8, Tilly and the Buttons size number 2, which is designed for waist 26, hips 35. My hip is 1 inch larger, and on my later version of the Clio pinafore, I actually graded out to a size 3 at the hips to give a bit more space there, but actually I find this version's fine. I think the actual needlecord might have stretched out a bit with use because I've got so much use out of this one, so I don't find it sort of too clingy around my hips. I do sometimes wear a little slip, just a little sort of slip I bought from Marks and Spencer's, a skirt underneath it to stop it kind of chafing against my tights and riding up, but I didn't do that today actually. I was just in a bit of a rush, so I just threw it on, and I haven't found it's been riding up too much actually. So that's been good, but I'll put a picture up so you can see what it looks like on. It's just a really nice comfy dress and perfect for this time of year, layered up over a cosy jumper. So in terms of my plans the rest of the day, well, I've got a couple of hours before I need to go and pick the children up from school. I've got a couple of house jobs I need to do. I also need to get my daughter's swimming stuff together because she's got a swimming lesson after school today. She hasn't been for the last couple of weeks because the pool has been closed for maintenance work, so yeah, she's back to that this evening, so it's going to be a bit of a mad dash to get her out of school and across the pool. So I think I'll probably finish off this video shortly, but I am hoping to squeeze in a little bit of sewing next. I'd like to get a bit more progress made on my larger dressing gown by Named Clothing. I'll get it down so you can see where it's at. So I've got my dressing gown down now from upstairs. Here it is. It's just been waiting on this hanger, ready for me to sort of finish it off. So this is the larger dressing gown by Named Clothing, and I'm making it in this really pretty viscose challis fabric that was gifted to me by Minerva in exchange for a post that I'll be writing on the website once I've finished the dressing gown off. So like I mentioned last night, I've just got a few steps to go. I need to hem the sleeves, hem the bottom of the dressing gown, and also finish the belt tie, which I've cut out but I haven't started sewing. And in one of my videos last week, I can't remember which day it was, I asked you guys about what you would do about the belt tie, because in the pattern, Named Clothing recommend that you interface the belt tie, but I wasn't sure if I interfaced with woven interfacing it might end up a little bit too stiff. And a lot of you agreed and said you probably wouldn't interface the tie, which is what I was thinking. And then a couple of people mentioned the idea of using like a stretch interfacing instead, which I hadn't realised you could use on woven fabrics, but I thought that was a really great idea because I thought it would give a bit of body to the tie without making it too sort of stiff. So I thought I might give that a try. I know I've got some stretch interfacing in a white colour, which would be perfect for this fabric. And I'm not sure how much I've got of it, so in a moment I'm going to go and have a look in my crafting cupboard, get that stretch interfacing out and see if I've got enough. And if I've got enough, I think I'm going to give it a go. And then I can report back to you guys on how it goes. I think it might work really well, so I thought it'd be fun to give that a try. So I think that's my plan. I think the next thing I'm going to do before I do the hemming of the sleeves and the bottom is get that belt sorted and see how I get on with the stretch interfacing on it. So that is my plan for now. So I think I'm going to finish this video off now because like I said, after school it's going to be a bit of a mad dash to get my daughter across to swimming. So I think I'll finish this off now so I can get it all edited and ready to post up on YouTube. And then hopefully tomorrow I'll be able to update you on how I've got on with my dressing gown belt. So yeah, thank you very much for joining me for another day of Vlogmas. I'm going to get off and get a bit of sewing done now. So I will see you again for day 20 tomorrow. So thanks again for watching and I will see you tomorrow. Bye.